In this video of class 11th error analysis, we are going to discuss about the meaning of error, types of error, and how these errors occur, and what is the necessity or what is the significance of an error in physics. So before starting the concept of error, we have to introduce certain terms, and the first term is accuracy. Accuracy is very important, okay, in measurement. So accuracy means how much close is the measured value to its true value. This closeness of a measured value with the actual or the true value of a measured quantity is known as accuracy. We will discuss it with the help of an example, and before that I have to introduce one more term, and that is precision. This term is also very important. We have a concept of a term that is least count. Least count. And we know that least count is the minimum measurement, the minimum measurement a device can measure. Device can measure. The scale which we are using in our daily life for measuring purpose has its least count 0.1 centimeter. So different instruments are there whose least count is different. So this precision of an instrument depends on its least count. One more term is related with precision, and that is resolution. Resolution means the measured value given by an instrument. So resolution is the measured value given by an instrument, and this resolution depends on the least count of the measuring instrument. For example, if I take the true value, let the true value of any length, any measured length, is 4.689 centimeter. It is the true value. And now we are using two different instruments to measure the same length. Okay, so we have two different instruments. First, instrument 1 and instrument 2. Now, what is the difference between the two instruments? This we have to specify first. The instrument 1 has a least count of 0.1 centimeter, and the least count of instrument second is 0.01 centimeter. This is the difference between two instruments. That first instrument is having least count 0.1 centimeter and the second one is having least count 0.01 centimeter. Now after measurement, the measured value by instrument 1 that came 4.5 centimeter, and here the measured value is 4.46 centimeter. Okay, now it is clear that the device 1 or the instrument 1, its value 4.5 is close to the actual value 4.689, and its value is not as much as close as the value measured by instrument 1. So we can say the instrument 1 is more accurate, or its accuracy is greater than instrument 2, or it has less accuracy. So this is the concept of accuracy, that instrument 1 measure value is 4.5, which is quite close to the true value, so it is more accurate, and by instrument 2 we measured the value which is less close to the true value, so its accuracy is less. Okay, but since this measurement has two significant figures, and here we have 1 2 3, that is 3 significant figures. So on the basis of significant figures we can conclude that the instrument 2, since its number of significant digits is more as compared to this, so we can say that instrument 2, its precision is more as compared to first, so it is more precise and it is less precise. That means accuracy and precision both are two different things. With the help of this example, we came to understand that what is the difference between accuracy and precision. Now the question arises, errors. We are dealing with the errors. So what are the errors? We can say in general terms, during any experiment with any accuracy or with any precision, we cannot perform any experiment without error. So we can say without error, no measurement is possible. If we are doing any experiment, there must be some error. Maybe less error is there, maybe more error is there, but the error must be there. Now the types of error, we have generally categorized the errors into two basic parts. First one is types of error. We have categorized it into two basic forms. First one is systematic error. And second one is random errors. Okay, so systematic errors, as the term is clear that it contains a system. System means which is involved in the experiment. So basically, generally three things are involved in an experiment. First, instrument. Second, the principle, theory or the technique we are using. And third, the person who is doing the experiment. So these three form a system. And if there is any error which occurs because of these three factors, we say that that is systematic error. Now second is random error. As it is clear from the name, it is random. Random means its cause is not known to us. Means suppose we are doing any experiment that is related to temperature and we perform that experiment during morning when the temperature is less and during daytime, afternoon, then there is a difference between the temperature, so our readings gets affected because of the change in the temperature which is not in our hand. Or we can say, when we are doing any experiment, electrical experiment, we consider that the wire which we are using has no resistance or its resistance is negligible. We cannot take into account the resistance of that wire. So whatever material we choose, it must have certain resistance. So there will be an effect of resistance on that. So our reading gets affected by the consideration that resistance we have taken 0. So this will affect the experiment and there may be some error due to these reasons. So these reasons which cannot be defined or the cause which cannot be generally defined, which are not known to us, the error caused by that are known as random errors. Now we can take the examples to explain the systematic and random errors. Systematic errors. We have discussed that it is basically an error that arises due to three factors. The first factor is instrument. So we can say first cause of systematic error is instrumental error. Instrumental error. Now the instrument which we are using is not perfect. Suppose we are using a scale and with the help of that we are measuring certain things, but the calibrations in the instrument or the scale got damaged or scale is damaged, so we will not get the correct reading. Suppose we are having a scale, this one is a scale and it's broken from one end and here it starts with 2, then 3 and 4. Now what we will use? We will perform experiment from here. So that is due to the damage of the instrument. So that is a possibility that error may occur in that. Okay. Second, if we are using vernier caliper or any other device in which two scales are there, one is main scale, this one is main scale and another is movable scale. Okay, so we have two scales there. Suppose its 0 is here and its 0 is here. So the 0 is not coinciding. Either the 0 lies to the left of this one or to the right of that. Then we will classify that it is positive 0 error or negative 0 error. So these errors, basically I want to explain that there may be some damage or the instrument which we are using is not perfect. So the error that occurs because of this is known as instrumental error. So there are certain possibilities that the instrument is not perfect. Maybe the zero is not coinciding. Maybe some friction is there. So these types of errors can be classified under instrumental error. Second is technique error. Technique error means whatever principle or technique we are using, that is not perfect. Now suppose when we are measuring certain mass of a body with physical balance. So in case of physical balance, we have a pan here. This one is a pan. Okay. And in doing that experiment, we neglect the buoyant forces exerted by the air. Okay. So the force exerted by air in this case is neglected. So that may cause certain error in the measurement. So this is the technical error which we are performing here. So the error arises due to technique. Wrong technique is also known as technical error. Now one more point is there. Now suppose in doing optics experiment, we have lenses. This one is one lens and this one is second lens. So while performing the experiment, we measure the distance, this one. But in actual theory, the distance should be measured from the center of the lens. So there may be some error that arises because of the imperfection or not because of the perfect technique which we are using. So in case of technique which we are using is not perfect, the error that arises is known as technical error. Okay. Third is while performing the experiment with simple pendulum. This is our simple pendulum. Okay, it's bob. Now we have the formula T is equal to 2 pi under root L upon G. By knowing time period, length, we can find the value of G. Okay, but this formula was derived with a condition that when we displace the bob, this angle theta should be small. Should be small. 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree. But in actual practice, we displace the bob from very large distance. Means the angle is very large. That is against the assumption which we have assumed in deriving the condition. So we are not using the perfect technique. So the error that arises because of this is known as classified under technical error. Now third thing is personal error in this one. The person who is performing the experiment does some mistake. So that I categorize under personal errors. Personal error means the experimenter who is experimenting is not very careful in his experiment, in his or her experiment. Suppose we have to measure any length and here we have a value 50, here 49, here 48 is there. Now one person if took the observation from here, its reading is 50 and one at the side, because so many students, 3-5 students are standing there. So if a student takes observation from here, so he will take, according to him the value is 49, according to him the value is 50 and a person from here, according to him, the value is 51. So this is the lateness of the person who is performing the experiment. So we can classify it under personal errors. Okay. So due to these, the error that arises is known as systematic error. Okay. Now since these three, we know the cause, means either the instrument is not perfect, the technique is not good, or due to the lackness of the person, these errors can be rectified or can be corrected. So we can write systematic errors. Systematic errors can be rectified. Okay, we can rectify by knowing the cause. Second thing is that it has direction, either positive or negative. In case of, we have discussed, in case of zero error, either the zero of the main scale lies to the right, vernier scale lies right to the main scale, or it lies left to the main scale. That means its direction is known. Okay, it has direction, either positive or negative. So these are the concept of systematic errors. Now we are going to discuss about another, that is random errors. Random errors, as we have discussed, that its cause is not known to us. Okay, cause is not known. We can write it, cause is not known. As I told in the beginning, that random errors may be, suppose if we are taking any experiment which is related to temperature. So during daytime and morning time, there's a difference in the temperature. So because of that, the instrument which we are using or the experiment which we are performing may be affected. So we cannot say, we cannot identify the real cause of that. So that type of errors whose cause is not known are termed as random errors. Since its cause is not known, so it cannot be rectified. It cannot be rectified. And as far as its direction is concerned, it has no particular direction. That is, its direction may be positive and negative at same time. Okay. Now the question arises, when it cannot be rectified, then how these errors can be minimized? So these current errors can be minimized by probability. Probability means when we are doing any experiment, we take so many observations. And the reason behind taking so many observations is that we want to take the probability, the mean of that, so that the error that occurs due to these reasons, random errors, can be minimized. That's why we take so many observations. Our teacher tells us to take so many observations so that we can get the accurate value we can come close to the true value of the experimental value. Okay, so that's why these errors cannot be rectified, though it can be minimized by probability or taking so many observations at the same time. So these are the two types of errors. In next lecture, we will discuss the propagation of error.